misplaced in my mic. Alright. This is going to be a pretty short lesson. That, if you're not familiar with it, is the intro to Martin by the Zac Brown Band. Really like this song, so I thought I'd learn this intro one day, and I thought, hey, it shouldn't be too hard, and I guess it's not. So we will do one more quick lesson from the not so magnificent and sometimes pretty lame me, but it's what I do, and I'm sorry about this really shaky zooming whatever I'm doing right now. Alright, well, it's kind of working for me. My computer is on these crates, and I used to have it a different way when I did it last few times, but I forgot to do it that way. Sorry about this. Maybe I should just redo this video. Hell with it, I'm already going. I'll stick with it. Okay. Alright. I've started playing this guitar again. I don't know why, but I'm starting to like it again for some reason. So, anyway, alright. If you'll notice, first things first, Capo on the 3rd fret. Got them, 1, 2, 3. So we've got everything that's 3 frets higher. But I'm still going to use the appropriate numbers. Like this will be the 5th fret, and this will be the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, so on and so forth. We're not going to need anything above 3 anyway, because all of this is functioning off of this C chord here. I just tuned my guitar not too long ago. It's kind of sounding like it's getting a little out of tune. It doesn't stay in tune very easily for some reason. But first things first, the C chord is going to be your ring finger, or I'll start with your index finger. Index finger on the 4th of the B, your middle finger on the 5th of the D, and your ring finger on the 6th of the A. Pretty simple stuff, but of course we're going to be moving during this, but this is your general shape. You barely have to move your index finger. There's a few things in there that you will have to move it for, but you can almost just plant it there and leave it the rest of the song, the intro. But first you're going to start out on this low, on the A string, on the 6th fret. And then you're going to play the open D, which would be the 3rd fret technically, but it's open. So sorry about that. From now on, just for simplicity, it's going to be the number after the capo. It's just not working the other way. I think that's the way I did it last time, maybe. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've had to use a capo in one of my lessons, but here we go. So it's going to be the 3rd on the A, open D, 2nd on the D, 3rd on the D. So it's going to be sounds pretty good. This is just the way I play. I think there's some variation in the way I do it as opposed to the video I learned from. I can't remember who it was, but it was a really good tutorial. Whoever you are, hats off to you. It's probably one of the better ones I've seen besides Marty Schwartz. I mean, it was just a great tutorial. But so far we've got 3 on the A, open D, 2nd on the D, 3rd on the D. Now what I do is just use my pinky in here for the 3rd on the D, and then just keep my middle finger here for the 2nd of the. That way, when we do this, I've got my 2 fingers up here, you know, on the D and A strings, but I'm going to be hammering on the G with my middle finger on the 2nd fret. So it's good to keep this form. This is the way I do it. I think the guy I learned it from might have did it differently. I don't remember. So here we're just hammering on the third on the A, open D, 2nd D, 3rd D, open, hammer on to the 2nd of the G, open G, hammer on again, open G, and then the 2nd on the D. And that's basically going to bring you back down to this shape. So pretty much this da 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 is going to be up and then back down. And I'm back to this original shape. And from there, it's just holding this shape and kind of doing a little picking thing. You can do anything you want with this. I kind of wing it and ad-lib it as I go. I don't do the same thing every time. Sometimes I nail the same thing. It just depends on, you know, what I'm feeling at the moment. Sometimes I'd start lower, sometimes I start higher. Sometimes I start lower. It just depends. You can do whatever you'd want, but you do basically 8 notes. Or 8 beats. You don't have to do 8 notes. I guess you could do kind of something like that. I don't know. If you can get it to sound good, that's fine. Usually something like D, A, G, D, B, G, D. Something like that could get you by pretty good. Oop. Oops. Pretty simple from this point on, really. After that little ad-lib part, you're gonna go basically open A, D, and even some G string in there if you want. And then you're just going to use your ring finger here on the 3rd of the A and hammer on to an A minor. Notice your index finger's been staying there this whole time, but after this it's finally going to move, but only after you go you hammer on to that A minor. This part is this B string you're plucking. Oops. Oops. Basically it's B, B, G, oh, G, G, D. B, B, D, D, B, B, G, G. So it's 2 on the B and the G strings, and then 1 D. Pretty simple there. It might take some practice to remember this, but just remember you're holding this A minor shape. Hammer off on your index finger first, and the only time this one will move. So while your fingers are still on the frets from this A minor, strum that G, the first G, and then strum it again, and your D. Pretty simple to do. It just takes a little bit of practice. And then, well, from there, it's pretty much like the same thing. You just go straight to this other form where we do that with the pinky on the third of the D and your ring on the third of the A. And your index, that's your middle finger, your bad mother finger, on the second of the G. You just do that whole thing again after that A minor. And then another one of those. And then back to this shape, this one with the index, or middle finger. This is your middle finger. This is your middle finger. Remember, this is your middle finger. Sorry, I seem to forget that for some reason. And this is kind of up to you. I don't think I finished that video actually. I think I kind of made this up by ear, but I think it sounds okay. As long as you hit the right notes loud enough. All I'm doing is going with all 4 of these fingers pressed, second of the G, third of the A and D strings, still index finger on there. Release my middle. Release my pinky. Put my middle finger back to the C chord. So you're going to end on a nice C chord here. Pretty fun song to play actually. I'm not for certain on the I'm not for certain on the rest of the chords. I'm not really able to find a reliable tab for some reason. I'm too lazy to figure them out for myself too. So, you know, if I ever find the chords to this, I'll be sure to do a video over it. But I mean, this sound just it's such a good sound. very good song, very meaningful song. If you're at all into music, any kind of music, oops, that almost was bad, my computer almost fell. If you're into any kind of music, it's a good song because, you know, this kind of guitar is where music started, basically. Maybe not this exact kind in design, but I mean, acoustic arrangements and acoustic songs are really the backbone of where music came from. I mean, sure, there's your percussion and everything, but you don't get much tune out of a percussion instrument. There's only a small iota of, you know, different things you can do with that. And I think a guitar with more strings, with the strings and just, I don't know, I think there's infinite possibilities with something like this as opposed to, you know, making wub-wub sounds with a computer. That's all I got to say about that. If you haven't ever heard this song, look it up. It is a damn good song. You know, Zac Brown Band does a lot of good stuff, but this is one of their more meaningful ones, I think, to me. But they have a few other real fast barn burners that I really like, but I would never be able to play those if I didn't really try at it, you know, night and day for 2 months. So, as always, if you like the videos, you want to offer a suggestion, request a song, it's all up to you. I'm here 24/7, you know, waiting for you people to say something. But, you know, it's summer now. I have a lot more free time. Maybe I'll be putting up more videos. Maybe I'll be wasting the summer away learning more Zippo tricks like I did like the past 2 hours. I've just been sitting here looking at fancy ways to open a lighter. So, yeah, my life is pretty boring. So give me some requests. Maybe I'll do them, you know, if I get really ambitious. But I might, because I'm extremely bored. And I will see you all in the next video. Not sure when that will be or what it will be, but hopefully nobody will complain about me being out of tune. Because if I am, I already know it. You don't need to tell me these things. And I'm guessing the ones that do complain won't be watching this portion of the video, if even this video at all. So, you know, it's kind of pointless for me to say so, but yeah. If I'm out of tune, I already know it, and I don't really care. All my finger positions are the same, you know. I mean, you can be in tune all you want, but if you don't know, you know, what fret to put what finger on and what string, you're kind of SOL. You can be out of tune all you want, but as long as you know where you're going, I think that's good enough to teach. So, without further ado, I will stop blabbering. I do that a lot at the end of my videos, I just realized. See you next time.